Deuteronomy 24:2. ויצאה מביתו, והלכה, והייתה לאיש אחר. So in verse 2 now, I want to show you where we shift and then show you where it comes from. Notice here the and the and the We're shifting here to third feminine singular forms. They're all in the perfect, so that's where we get that ending. And we still have these vav consecutives though, all right? So where are those vav consecutives coming from? I'm going to bounce back here to verse 1. And after we finish this introductory setup of the when, we then get this vehaya, and it shall come about if. So there's the if. There's the situation that is kind of setting up all of this. And then notice here we get the vav consecutives on the male. He writes, he gives, and he sends her from his house. Now the scene shifts to the woman, and we get here. Let's go. Call perfect, third feminine singular of the verbal root yatsa, and she goes out from his house. And so she departs from his house. And call perfect, third feminine singular of halach, and she goes. And call perfect, third feminine singular of the verbal root haya. Notice here in the third hay verbs, this is something to notice. We often see the third hay verbs just dropping out with that third hay. But notice here in the third feminine singular, we get that feminine tav that drops in. So hayata, third feminine singular. So, and she exists or becomes something like that. Again, you hear all of this kind of in that future hypothetical, and she exists to a man another, or she exists to another man. And notice this lamed here, to, I would take this to be a lamed of possession. And so she exists, we might say, possessed by another man, but we don't want to think about that in terms of like an object. This is an idiomatic way or an expression that Hebrew will use to talk about marriage. And so now we've got a situation where the if is the man divorced her, the man sent her away. If all of this happens because he found an ervat davar, something indecent in her, and she does indeed go, and she does indeed become the wife of another man, then we're going to see in verse 3 what happens after that.